Rich, one of the fundamental things we've done in this report is to measure businesses' environmental costs and the natural capital that they're using. Explain a little bit behind that. What are we really talking about there?
So what we're talking about in terms of natural capital is really boils down to two things. It's services provided by the environment that businesses need. So if you require cotton to create a product like this shirt, that cotton will require water. So, how do you consider water as a valuable asset, essentially? So that's what we're talking about there. And then the other side of the coin is actually, in order to create this shirt, actually there are environmental impacts that are created as a consequence of production. So these are things like wastes, like carbon dioxide emissions, for example, greenhouse gas emissions, things like that actually cause damage to our environment. And global ecosystems absorb that damage.
Now, so in looking at the water, for example, we're talking about the water that's embedded in growing the cotton, in manufacturing the textiles, in the dyeing, washing processes. Mm-hmm. And are we also looking at the consumer use of that in washing the shirt? Yeah. So, and then you're taking that water usage and putting a price on it. Now, do you put is this a world global price, or is this price based on every company's, where they're doing business? How granular does this get?
Well, it's tricky to get very granular without a huge amount more information from companies themselves. So we purposely kept this analysis at a relatively high level. It's designed not to be an analysis that companies can pick up themselves individually and say, yeah, that's the right number. It's designed to give an indication of trends and exactly what is going on with US companies versus their global counterparts. But it is possible to do that more granular analysis, and many businesses are conducting this type of work. It is possible to say the Vietnam supplier that makes this shirt, if this shirt were made in Vietnam, uses cotton from Kazakhstan or Pakistan, and the impact, the very local impact of that cotton is X. The challenge is we need more transparency, we need more flow of information through supply chains, because quite often companies do struggle with getting information on the primary production of the raw materials or commodities they're relying on.
And on the environmental costs, that's the impact side. So you're looking at when a company puts in, sticking to water emissions into an aquifer, into a wastewater treatment plant for that matter, there's a cost to the environment that the company doesn't necessarily pay.
Yeah, so every time we consume fossil fuels, for example, we create multiple impacts. We create greenhouse gases that cause changes to our climate, according to the scientific consensus, scientific evidence. We also cause things like local air pollution. So more recently, we found that in places like China, where pollution levels have gone off the scale, on a scale of 0 to 500, they were at 755. This actually means we have very hazardous local conditions. So it's not just a damage to our environment we're looking at, it's also damage to us as people.